real experiences, raw conversations, one destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link.
You fight again. And if you want my opinion, I let it take me away. Only relief is the four on the floor and the crowd that goes, oh, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, oh, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
I'm still practicing the Cabbage Patch. 30 years later. You know, I think I should take choreographed dancing classes because, well, let's put it this way. Everybody in my family, when we have gatherings and we're dancing, nobody wants to be near me. And I don't know why. And my nephews and nieces, why do they call me Uncle Carlton? I mean, I do love that. I mean, who can't love that? But I think I can jam. Can you dance? Anyway, let me tell you something. It is Friday, right? So I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. TGIF, y'all. And did you see all those faux pas, if you will? Because I don't believe in mistakes. I believe God just makes it interesting, right? So I was just hitting stuff, and then that scary picture of me popped on. So I was like, Lord, what's going on? But it's only because I'm so excited. Tomorrow, oh, thank you, Jesus. 3 years in the making. It is my husband and I, Brian, are having our very first garage sale. And I mean, we planned this better than we planned our wedding. I'm not kidding. I got signs and balloons, and I did all these ads, and we had everything upstairs. I started putting little price tags on it. And let me tell you about this one. At first, it was like, I'm not having anything. You just do it. Because we're going to Mexico on this money. And so anyway, I start putting prices on stuff. So his stuff, he's like, isn't that a little cheap for that? I'm like, what? Well, when I bought it 30 years ago, I'm like, honey, no. You stay out of this. So anyway, our 5.0 party is going to be great. We have a bunch of friends coming. I borrowed every table I can in the neighborhood. Then I'm going to put tarps down for all the other crap. I mean, stuff, treasures. I'm gonna let that slip out tomorrow. So you see any crap here you want? So anyway, and we're having a Mai Tai and barbecue party on our deck in the back for all our friends, right? So, here comes my server now. Thank you. Thank you so much. Vegetarian sausage. So, because he's always saying, quit going with your mouth open. I'm sorry. I'm starving. I was in the gym at 5 o'clock this morning. I'm hungry. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. Wait. Got some. And also welcome, if you will. You know who she is. She's been here all 6 years. This is my sidekick. She's my version of Ed McMahon. Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. And today, cinnamon bun. That's how you can tell. You can't go by what it says on the bag of a flavored coffee for it to taste like that in most cases. But it sure smells like it. I can feel the pounds coming on. So anyway, I'm excited. It's Friday, and I'm truly most excited about our guest today. What a way to wrap up this week. Before I bring her in, I got to tell you guys, is it next week? No, we just got the call last night. The 12th through the 15th of August, guess where Brian and I are going? We're going back to Cincinnati because I am going back to film my final scenes, 3 of them. Did you know I'm a co-star? I didn't. I just thought I was in there. They said, no, you're a co-star. You're in the trailer. So I'm going back to film the final scenes for the trailer for the Peacock series. What's the name of it? I'm kidding. Heathen. And I'm not the heathen. It's my brother in the show. His dirty ass. I can't stand him. For real. I didn't know when I got there a couple weeks ago, right? I was watching him in some other scenes. Nobody in the whole show. Nobody likes his ass. Nobody. And so when I saw him doing stuff to other people, I was ready for my scene. Come here. Let me at him. Right. So I play this mega church pastor's Cletus Goins. I play his openly gay, very successful, world-renowned, get this, stand-up comedian. Right? So anyway, I've just come off tour and I know all his dirt. So that's how I keep him where I want him. And so I can't wait because I get to be extra gay in that. Girl, please. Right. I can't wait. Right. So anyway, that's happening. So unfortunately on the 12th, there will be a rerun, but I'm going to be going live way off the set because I found out when we were there were people that tell you no pictures until they say, what's it called? behind the scenes. BTS. Time for BTS. For those who want it, means behind the scenes, and you can take pictures and stuff. But don't let them catch. They have people in New York monitoring our social media. 7 people got fired because they were taking secret pictures and stuff. I tell you what, if it ain't TMZ, I ain't saying shit because TMZ pays well. So Lindsay Gutierrez is here, right? And she's so many things. She's a veteran. She's a pageant queen, like numerous titles. And she recently donated a perfectly good kidney to a perfectly good stranger. And we're going to find out all about that. She was a guest not so long ago on my favorite guy, my second favorite guy, Jax Young. We have the podcast, as you guys know, License for Love, and Lindsay was on, and boy, I can't wait to get her in here. Now, she's a first timer, so you guys, you know what we do. We put our hearts into the conversation, of course, but then our form of digital applauding, we put hearts on the screen, so get that finger ready going. Because here she comes, Lindsay Gutierrez. Good morning.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm so happy it's Friday, and I'm so excited to be here with you. I love talking with you, and you always make me laugh during your intros. I was sitting here just behind the scenes, laughing my ass off.
Laughter is the best medicine. I am a firm, you look at behind me. I love to play. I love toys.
Yes.
For you nasty people, I didn't mean that. I love like kid toys. I do. I got to ask you something before we even get started because I didn't know you had all that ink.
Yes.
I do. When you're in the pageants, do they tell you, well, I hope your gown is long sleeved? Do they care?
I purposely seek out pageants that allow for that expressionism because it's a part of me. All the ink I have has a backstory to it. There's a reason for it, whether it just be a fun, light-hearted story or something that was really meaningful. So I choose personally not to cover up my tattoos. If it's a dress that I love and it's long sleeve, then yes, but I don't purposely seek out anything to cover up any part of me ink-wise. It's
I love it.
So,
transparency. Transparency. I love it. So on the screen, we see a portion of your current title, which is Mrs. Georgia.
American Elegance 2022.
American Elegance?
Yes.
Why is there a Mrs. Georgia American? So they had to throw elegance on?
It's a very classy pageant, and we are all about celebrating women, whatever size you are, whatever your background is. Just whoever you are, we want you to be a part of our system. And it's really heavily emphasized on community service and your personal platform and making sure that you're actively putting into action what you say you're going to do. Because anybody can wear a crown, but not everybody can actually execute as a
That's
king
all I
or
was
a
waiting
queen.
on. I was waiting on that. You said it. You gave me permission. You said anybody can wear a crown.
Sure did. You got it.
Thank you. So wait a minute. Okay, there. So how long have you been Mrs. Georgia what is it?
American Elegance, Georgia American Elegance.
American Elegance, because I was like, hey, elegance doesn't start with an A.
That's all right. So
yeah, how long?
Yeah, so I competed for the first time in the system it was around Halloween last year. So end of October, early November. And I got first runner up. It was an amazing first experience. I loved it. I was super excited to just be a part of this particular organization because of all the great things I'd heard about it. So I decided I was going to come back again this year and compete for the head title of Mrs. American Elegance. So we'll see. I am super, super stoked about what this year holds. And I've been working really hard been doing a lot of training with my coach. So I am laser focused. I am ready for this next adventure, whatever it may be. So I know there's always going to be some amazing women in here. So may the best queen win.
I was like, hold on, I'm not even in the pageant. But okay, if you say so.
That's right.
I'm gonna let you say hello in your own way to the audience. Just share where you're at in the world. Fill in a little bit about your military experience. And then I'll come back in and we'll get started.
All right. I am actually located here in Nashville, Georgia. So it's a little bitty town near Valdosta. If you're familiar with Moody Air Force Base, for those of you who are active duty or veterans, my husband, Anthony, is stationed here. And so we had orders here back in 2016 to transfer. So here we are. We're making the best of where we're at. I absolutely love living down here for the fact that we have 3 potbelly pigs, 2 dogs, 4 chickens, a cat, and 2 rats. And so we have yes, we added more since we last spoke. So we have quite the household. I am a social worker by trade. I currently help veterans in our congressional district with any kind of casework issues they may have. I volunteer around the community a lot, especially with animals, helping in shelters, active in a bunch of veteran groups. And of course, my very first title I ever held was Mrs. Veteran America 2017. And from there, that's where my advocacy started.
Wow. Well, I'm just going to get this out off the rip. Clearly, you don't have any African-American friends. And if you do, they don't come to your house. Because the only pet you're missing is some roaches.
Right?
Pigs, rats. I'm not coming to your house, girl. It ain't happening. It is not happening. I don't care if they got on clothes and all that kind of shit. I'm just saying. Well, the pig, I might be able to. I saw that one is a big one.
Listen, she's
that a girl.
Yes, Pearl is the pink one. Is Pearl. She's my best friend. And then we have Oreo and Templeton, and everybody's a rescue. Love them all. They love to cuddle. So trust me, you would love being here at the house because there's so many cuddle bugs around. They just want to love.
Girl, the last time I cuddled with a pig was 1987, and he stole my watch when he went home that morning. So no. No, ma'am. So, but why? Well, first of all, how do pigs get rescued? From where? Don't they belong in the wild?
No, some do, I think, because I'm a part of a lot of pig support groups and stuff, pig communities. Yes, and there's one in South Africa, and in one of the groups, and she rescued a warthog. Cutest thing, cute, super cute. Yes, I love her so much. And then, of course, whenever I was in New York for my surgery, part of what I wanted to do whenever I was there was visit one of the rescues I follow, Arthur's Acres. And so we went, me and Anthony, and we just had the best time. It was such a great healing experience because I was so focused on the pigs. And I love them so much. There's something about a pig. I've always loved pigs. It's been my favorite animal.
I ate some last night.
We don't eat these pigs. These are cuddle pigs. You just give them smoochies.
But do you eat pork in your house? I'm whispering in case they can hear me.
Listen, okay, so funny story about that. No, I don't eat pork anymore. Anthony does eat pork, but on occasion, but whenever he's made pork here in the kitchen, whatever it is, I'm not kidding you. These pigs will come into the kitchen and sniff it, and they want food. They don't know that it's pork, but all they know is that it smells really good. And so they wanted to eat it before, but we're like, no, you can't do it.
That's cannibalism.
You can't eat your people. Yeah, exactly. So
no, don't eat the peeps, please.
No.
Oh my goodness. Now, are they all females, or do you have a male in the bunch?
They are. Oreo and Templeton are boys. Pearl is the only girl pig, but our household is predominantly ladies because our cat, and the other 2 pigs are the only boys. Everybody else in the household is a girl.
There's a girl. Oh, don't forget Anthony.
And Anthony, yeah. So it's just those 4.
So I'm just curious. Do you have to get them fixed, or you'd have a bunch of piglets?
Yes. Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, listen, it humping for days whenever it
I was
came.
gonna say she's holding something back. Do they really?
Yes. Whenever we rescued Oreo Christmas Day, actually last year. And so he wasn't fixed. And we brought him home, and all he wanted to do was go to town on anything he could get his little body on. We're like, no, sir. No, sir.
I mean, I'm not into bestiality, but if I were a pig, I saw Pearl. She's voluptuous. She got some curves on her. In our community, they call her thick.
Yeah, she's thick with 3 C's. She's a big girl. She's a real big girl. But she's about 100 pounds. Templeton's probably a little bit more. And Oreo, I don't know how much he weighs. We haven't lifted him up. But he's smaller. But yeah, he was ready to go to town on the brick wall that we have outside, Anthony's leg, my arm. It didn't matter. But we got him fixed. And everybody in that household is fixed, minus the rats, but they're girls, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, so now everybody's happy and living a great life. So
and they all get along.
Yes, they do. Oreo and Templeton act like brothers. So imagine a little brother pestering the big brother, and that's that dynamic. And then Pearl is just the alpha.
So, Lindsay, do they walk through the house like regular people? You know, I mean, like regular pets, just go and lay down where they want. And
yeah, actually,
where are they at right now?
Templeton, I can show you. Templeton, yeah, you see that little lump back there?
Yeah, on a blanket or something.
Yeah, that's Templeton. He's laying down right now, and then Pearl is in her bedroom. They have their own bedroom, and she's probably laying in her snoozer pet bed. It's like this big little. It's a huge thing, but it's a little opening, and it looks like a little tent, but it's this big round bed, and it's just fluffy, and she loves to lay in it.
I'm gonna make a prediction here, and what do you guys think? I really think that you're gonna end up with a reality show. I'd watch it. Have you ever thought about it?
I mean, yeah, I've always wanted to be on The Real World. Whenever I was a kid, I wanted to do The Real World. I mean, who didn't though? You know, I mean, who didn't want to do that kind of stuff whenever you were younger? And now I think about it, I'm like, is my life really that entertaining? We do have funny pets, and they are really funny. Day-to-day life, we're pretty low key. So
Girl, you should do some reels.
I should. That's my downfall. I don't know how to. I miss the moments, the funny moments of trying to recreate it in its natural environment, and then yeah. So I'm like. I miss it. I should
get a nanny cam because then they can do their thing, and then you could add like music and words and stuff later. Wow. Well, man, how exciting is that? So, let's go over to now. Were you were in the military yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And,
I was Air Force.
Me too. Aim high. And what did you do in the Air Force? What was your AFSC?
Security Forces.
What?
I was Security Forces.
Wait a minute. Is that a nice, gentle way to say you were an MP?
Yes.
See, I already knew because I'm gonna tell y'all, and I don't know about anybody else, but they were the ones on our base. They were friends only with each other.
Depending on the situation, I made friends with everybody because I realized that you have to be able to make those connections because everybody will need something at some point. And so I made a point to always be friends with people, always be friends, make those good connections with others because you just never know whenever they might need you and whenever you might need somebody else.
Well, I had a semi-bad experience with an MP once coming back on base, Williams Air Force Base, Arizona, from a night out with my townie friends, gay ones. And of course, I snuck to the gay bar, but one of them was a drag queen, and she left her wig and purse in the back seat of my car. And I came through the gate at like 3:30 in the morning, and they were like, they made me pull over and all this. It was, let's just say there were no secrets after that night. So anyway, yeah, but no, they're a different breed.
Yes.
Just like the air traffic controllers, which one of my best friends was an air traffic controller. Hi, Dee. And she was just great. She was gay too, but they knew, but they wouldn't talked about it. Don't ask, don't tell. So anyway, how long did you serve, Lindsay? And thank you for your service.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And thank you for yours. I served for 6 years.
6 years. That's what I did. And I was a contract negotiator. I worked in base contracting.
Oh, I tried to retrain into contracting, and then the retrain window just went haywire and crazy, and I didn't get it. I loved it.
I didn't like spending money. Right?
Thank you. Yes.
It was great. So let's go to let's touch we're gonna open it up, then we're gonna go to break and come back and go all the way through it. When we come back, I'm gonna show a brief little video I found. Lindsay, tell them what you did recently about this perfectly good kidney that you just say, I'm bored. What can I do? Oh, I know. I'll donate an organ. Talk about that. A lot of people mark the thing on their license and when I'm gone, who cares? I'm not going to need it. But to be alive and you're a young woman, you still, you haven't had any kids yet, but I know you said the day will come. No?
Maybe. I don't know. No, yeah, who knows?
I mean, right. You haven't just said never. So it's a possibility. And people are like, girl, how are you going to breastfeed with one kidney? You know what I'm saying? So talk about that decision, how you came to that opportunity, and then we'll go to break, come back, watch the clip, and see how it compares, because it's a little short 3-minute testimonial of a woman who did exactly what you did, and I want to see how her experience compares to yours. So just go ahead and say what you want to say, and then we're going to go to break.
All right. I am Lindsay Gutierrez, and I donated my left kidney. It was a perfectly good kidney to another veteran. But the reason I did it is because I wanted to help save somebody's life. I can't wait to share my story with you as soon as we come back.
And let me just ask, you said left kidney. Who chose which side?
The doctor did. Dr. Chin, he chose it.
Why? It sounds like you kind of wanted the right one to go.
It actually, I don't think until he gets in there physically to see what kidney is going to be the best one to use, but technically the left one is usually bigger, and the different veins and arteries coming from it are usually longer. Okay. And so that's why they use it, is because they have extra length, I guess, to work with whenever they're in surgery, implanting it into during the transplant process anyway, to the recipient. Listen,
I'm just saying, girl, look, we're gonna come back in a minute because I saw a picture of that thing.
It's pretty. She's so
was
pretty.
Huge.
She's so beautiful. I love her.
The kidney.
Yes.
Y'all heard it. Listen, you guys. We'll be back in 1 minute. 1 minute. What am I going to show after? I need something happy. Hold on. I'm just saying, let me find something. Oh, and a veteran sponsor. Here we go. We'll be right back. Don't you dare go away. to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. Before we get our wonderful guests and get all into that kidney talk, Lindsay Gutierrez, I wanted to tell you, as I do most days, about a shift that I made in my life about 2 years ago. I ditched the Diet Coke and decided to go this route, V8. Why? Because I wanted to do better. And I love it. 60 calories in each one of these little babies. 100% vegetable juice from concentrate. And get this, it used to be 2 servings of vegetables. Now it's 2.5. How did they do that? The can's still the same size. I don't get it, but it's great. And it's even easy to find. Head down the juice aisle at your local grocer and try it. They come in all types of flavors. There's low sodium. There's spicy. I like the original because I'm original. So V8, here's to you. And in case anyone's been wondering, at 60, how does he do it? No, I haven't had any surgeries. Stop yet. But I'm kidding. That's not going to happen. I use these products. This is the art of shaving. I start with this pre-shave oil so I can soften up these old goat hairs of mine. You know how they are when they start turning gray. Quit playing, right? And then I use their shaving cream. It is absolutely fantastic. You can see the finger marks, so you know I really do. You can't even tell, but it is. I use it, and I love it. So if you want more information on that, go to artofshaving.com, and you can find an entire plethora of products for men and all of your skincare needs. Thank you, Art of Shaving. We love you. Lindsay, welcome back. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing good. A special guest just walked in. Come here,
Who?
bud.
Pearl? Is it Pearl?
Well, it's not Pearl. It's better than Pearl.
Ooh, you ain't lying. Hey.
Hello.
This is my husband, Anthony.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Wait a minute, Lindsay. You look kind of weird right there. Can you scoot over to your left real quick? A little?
There we go.
No, your left.
My left.
Yeah, a little
Okay,
more.
keep
No,
going.
no more. Yeah, right there. There you go. Oh, how you doing? I'm kidding.
doing good. Thank you.
Lindsay, come back. Anthony, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Thank you for your service.
My pleasure.
Yes. And real quick, let me just ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, when the thing came, I don't know what you call it, came out, the idea, there it is, out of Lindsay's mouth about wanting to give one of her kidneys away, did you look at her like, girl, have you lost your mind? How did you feel?
I was very apprehensive, to say the least. But I know my wife, and I know the kind of person she is. So after that initial reaction of, oh God, what? It was more of a concern of like, you know what, or understanding of, I know that before she makes a life-altering decision like this, she's going to do the research. She's going to make sure that, you know, everything for her will be taken care of on her end in the event that something happens, complications. I know that about her. She's very, very thorough whenever she makes a decision. She's not hasty, especially when it comes to something like this. So a few minutes after my shock, I was like, you know what? I said, my biggest concern and my real main concern is my only disagreement with it will be if it were to shorten your lifespan in any way. If it were to say, hey, you know, as a result of this, you may not live X amount of years, you know, due to complications down the road. And then when I was reassured by her after doing her research that in the event that something were to happen to her that was directly correlated with her donation, it's all tracked through the VA, and all of her medical care will be taken care of because she's a living donor. Not to mention in the event, you know, that she were to need a kidney, she would be at that top of the donor list, or at the top of the recipient list, because of the fact that she's a living donor. After hearing that news, I was okay with it.
And if I were you, Lindsay, and you ever need a kidney, you know whose door I'd be knocking on. Remember me? I'm gonna get my kidney back. Right. Sorry, dude. I ain't trying to Indian give, but real quick, what do you do in the what branch are you in?
Air Force.
Okay, good. Okay, Air Force. Me too. So what do you do in there?
My fancy title is aircraft structural maintenance, but I'm basically sheet metal. So anything on the body of the aircraft, the substructure, anything like that, we do paint, corrosion removal, fiberglass work, things like that.
Wow. So you're a hands-on kind of guy. Well, thank you Thank you so much. I know, right? Thank you so much for sharing. It's been a real honor to meet you. And I will say this, we have lots of heroes all over, veterans, prior, non-enlisted anymore, whatever you call it. What is that called? When we're
Uh,
not in
Yeah, I guess.
right, right.
Just veterans. Yeah.
But a living donor should be
Yeah.
right at the top of the list of heroes. So thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
man.
Phil.
Yep.
All right. I'll let you
Now-
get back
All right,
to hanging
bye-bye.
out with the
Say
pets.
this. I want to say this. Man, those eyebrows.
I know.
My
I've had
God,
to.
I was like, I'll kill him for those and just rip them off and glue them on my man. What a great husband you have, and so supportive. I'm
Yes,
glad
he-
he came in. Thanks for letting him come in.
Yeah, he just walked in. So I was like, oh, come here.
Yes,
Come
he
hang
did.
out.
Yes. So, wow, what a wonderful family you have. So
Thank
let's
you.
talk about how long did the process take from when you said I want to do it to when talk about the organization that put this entire thing together, matching you with a donor.
Yeah. So the idea of me wanting to donate was planted in my mind when I competed in American Elegance last year. So one of the delegates had a friend of hers who was needing a liver transplant. And she was just in absolute hysterics. And I talked to her and I knew that I was O positive blood wise anyway. So I thought, well, if I can donate part of my liver, if he needs it, I would be more than happy to do that. And I just said it without even thinking. So then come to find out several weeks or months later, I don't know how long the process was for him, but he ended up making a recovery. So everything was good there. And then in January of this year, our office received a magazine from Defense News, and I saw an ad for Dove, which was the Donor Outreach for Veterans. That's the nonprofit I went through for my organ donation. They had an ad in that magazine about kidney donation. And so I was like, well, I'd already considered liver donation a few months ago. So let me reach out and talk to the founder about this and just do an intake. So that was in January still of this year, whenever I did the intake with Sharon at Dove, had a great conversation with her. She kind of walked me through the process of just briefly of what it would look like to donate from start to finish. And then from her end, that's where she initiated the process of getting Mount Sinai involved and me having my communications with them virtually. And so I would meet with them a few times over the course of maybe 2 months or so. So it was January, February, March is whenever I was having the appointments. And then I had my in-person appointment end of March. And then from there, I just made sure that everything was good to go on my end. I showed up, did the testing. I mean, they went through all sorts of tests to make sure that I was a good candidate. Yeah, it was very, very extensive and pretty invasive too, just to make sure. I mean, I had an MRI with contrast, an EKG, ultrasound, tons of blood work. I met with a dietitian, social worker, psychiatrist, psychologist, the nurse, the doctor. I mean, it's a huge amount of people on the care team for the donor and the recipient. But my team is just assigned to me, and then everybody else has their own personnel as well. And so I had a full day of appointments at Mount Sinai. And then it was weeks later, I found out that I was a good candidate. But I thought I was going to find out. That was a Monday in March whenever I went for the appointments. And my nurse told me that usually people find out towards the end of the week if they've been approved or not. Well, I didn't hear anything until, it was probably late Friday afternoon. I was like, okay, I'm done. I was freaking out because I thought, really, is something wrong with me? Because I was getting all of my lab work and everything that I could see in my chart app was coming through. And I was like, oh my God, is everything okay? I mean, everything looks okay from my end. I'm not a medical professional. I don't know how to read these charts, but it looks everything looks okay. And then my nurse called me Friday afternoon and said, well, we need a little bit more blood work from you. I guess the blood work that I had given weeks prior to me coming to Mount Sinai needed to be redone. I guess the lab that was processing it let it set a little bit too long, so it just wasn't usable. So, like, okay, not a problem. Went and did more blood work.
Everybody knows you're supposed to put that stuff in Tupperware.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying, what were they thinking?
Yeah,
Anyway, go
news.
ahead.
It was crazy. So it's like, my God,
Let the blood out.
right? As if I hadn't had enough stick wounds. I looked like I'd been taking heroin or something in my arm. That's how many injections I'd had. I had so many injections from blood work and the contrast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was, it looked terrible. I was like, well, good thing I don't bruise very easily, or else people would think I really have a drug problem.
Right.
But I went and gave more blood. And then that week, that following week, I found out, I got the call that I was a perfect candidate. So
then that happens.
Yep.
Now starts the seeking of who it's going to go to.
Right.
Now, how long did that take before they matched?
So Sharon at Dove is the one who coordinated everything. And Sharon.
Blonde hair, drives a little Kia.
No, wrong.
Oh, just kidding.
Not Karen, Sharon.
Oh, Karen. Okay, I got it. So
yeah, so Sharon was the one who coordinated everything because she had been in transplant donation for 20 plus years already. And she's a social worker as well. So she was very familiar working with the VA as a federal employee before, and then working with Mount Sinai, who she also worked there as well. So she was very familiar with both of these agencies. And she coordinated with me and said, would you want to be just 1-on-1 match donation, or would you who do you want to give to? And I was like, Sharon, it doesn't matter to me, because people can actually specify who they want to donate to.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you can have parameters of who you want to receive your kidney. But I said, Sharon, I don't care who receives my kidney as long as it's a veteran. And that was the only stipulation. And that's what Dove does. They specifically help connect donors to veteran recipients. So all recipients are veterans. Yeah.
So I always thought, I think you guys probably thought this too, maybe you didn't, that there's always a list, like who's most desperate or how close was your person. And then let's get into who that is.
Yeah.
How long have they been waiting, and where were they? Because, some people are like, I need it yesterday.
Right.
So do they automatically go to the most dire situation, or?
So the way that it worked out, it was a bit different in our situation. And the reason being is because I was involved in a chain donation or a swap. You can imagine it like a swap. So that's what it was. There was 4 of us involved. Initially, it was just going to be me and one other veteran, Kevin. And Kevin was 25 years old, and he had been on the list, I think, for a couple of years. Yes. So he had both of his kidneys still, and both of them were not working at all. So he was on dialysis for a couple of years. So I don't really know exactly what was going on behind the scenes, but I know it was a ton of work between Mount Sinai, the Bronx VA, and Sharon trying to coordinate all of these moving parts together, because they were trying to work out this swap donation, because it was going to be the first of the VA in the VA system to be able to do this swap. It wasn't the first swap with Mount Sinai or anybody else, from my understanding.
Okay, we'll give you this kidney, but we're gonna need a liver.
So yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like. So
I'll take your liver and raise you to
right.
That's
kind of what I thought. So I was like, well, Sharon, explain it to me. And she said, okay, this is how it's going to work out. So originally you were paired with Kevin, but the way that it's working out is we think we can help more people if we do this swap chain donation. And I said, okay, I'm listening. How is that going to work? She said, here's what would happen. You, with me, I would donate to a veteran named Reggie. And Reggie, as it turns out, had kidney failure. He had no kidneys that were working at all, no kidneys even in his body, and had cancer, was on dialysis for 3 years. Yes.
You said he had no kidneys in his body?
No kidneys.
So does that mean he was chained to a machine?
Pretty much. He was on dialysis almost, I think he told me several times a week. I don't remember the number, but I remember it was a lot.
So literally no kidneys in his body.
No kidneys in his body.
I didn't know you could live with no kidneys.
I did not know that either, but he was, yeah, he had no kidneys at all. Yeah. And so both of his kidneys had been removed. So Sharon said, you will donate to Reggie. And as it turns out, Reggie's wife wants to donate, but she wasn't able to donate to Reggie because they were different blood types. Mm-hmm. However, her blood type matches Kevin. So that's how this would affect it, is because it would be a swap, because she wanted to originally donate to her husband, but she couldn't. So that's how it worked out. And that's how we were all able to be involved in this donation chain swap.
Wow.
And yeah. Who knew? Wow. And that's how it all kicked off. And so I had the opportunity to work with my nurse to figure out what day I wanted to donate. And they needed several weeks to be able to plan for all this because of how many people were involved. And you can imagine, there's 4 of us, but imagine everybody's medical team has tons of people. So it was a lot to coordinate.
Okay, so was it Kevin and the wife, did their harvesting happen at the same time?
It did.
Why does that have to be?
So living donors actually are better for people because it's already a living organ versus a deceased angel donor is what some people will call them. It's still a great organ if you're for angel donors to be able to donate. However, because living donors already have that organ that's fully functioning and working, and it's not going through the process of
kept alive
death, I guess,
right.
I don't know the best way of saying it. However, living donation lasts even longer than an organ from an angel donor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So that's why as soon as that organ is harvested from the donor, it's immediately transplanted into the recipient. And so Kevin and Wendy had their surgeries on May 24th. Me and Reggie had ours on May 25th. And from my understanding, my nurse was in the OR with me. She was there with me the entire time. And she said, as soon as my organ was removed, she got a picture of my kidney, which it was really pink. It's pink and white looking. I thought it was brown, but kidneys are not brown. That's not a good thing if your kidney's brown. But yeah. So she took a picture of my kidney for me, which crazy enough, I wanted her to take a picture because I wanted to see what it looks like. And so she said, yeah, as soon as the doctor was done letting me take
right back. Okay, go on.
Yeah. She said as soon as he was done, then they put it in the cooler. And there's a doctor who goes with that kidney from the hospital to the next location, which was at the VA hospital in the Bronx. And so he transports with it the entire step of the way.
So why wouldn't they try to have, I imagined Wendy in one surgical suite, mm-hmm. Kevin in the other, and they just walk out and go into the other one, or maybe they got one of those swinging doors.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yes. Well, that's kind of what I thought might happen. However, because Kevin and Reggie are both veterans and they were going through the VA, that's why they had their surgeries at the VA. And me and Wendy, as civilians, were having ours through the Mount Sinai Hospital, through the private sector. And so that's how it worked out in this instance. It doesn't always work out that way. It just happened to be for our situation. That's how it was. But again, that's how you can imagine it being a really complicated process, is because you have 2 different facilities, 4 different sets of medical teams and doctors who are coordinating this and driving the kidneys from place to place. So it was very complex.
That Reggie and Wendy were recouping, one from giving, one from receiving. Talk about a full circle moment.
Yeah.
And so I want to know, how is Kevin doing?
Awesome. I talk with Kevin and Reggie pretty frequently. Kevin recently texted me and said that he's got so much energy back and he's excited to, and for the record, Kevin is about, I think he's 25, 26. So he's young. and he was in the Marine Corps. And it was because of, I think he said, basic training and just all the strenuous activities that he was doing, his kidneys just went into failure. And so, yeah, so there wasn't really, from my understanding, I don't know, I can't explain how that happened or what happened specifically, but he was so young. And now he's back to playing basketball. He's doing push-ups. He's getting more and more into the gym and lifting weights.
That's awesome.
Reggie is in his mid-50s and doing absolutely amazing. He is got so much more energy as well. That's the number one thing that I hear from both of the recipients is they have tons of energy. Before it was none whatsoever.
That's
and
awesome.
so yeah, so Reggie's back to playing with his kids and grandkids and everything. So it's great to see the pictures and really connect with him and Wendy.
Wow. Hey, really quick, it's 2 minutes. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah.
And I want you to tell us if this is representative at all of what you experienced.
Sure.
My name is Renee Bruins. A little over a year ago, I donated a kidney. I was at the gym one day, and I saw a vehicle there that had a decal on there saying this person needed a kidney. And I figured if I was a match, then it was meant to be to give this stranger a kidney. I would say the coordinator is your lifeline. The first time that I heard from her was after I sent the box in the mail with my blood work. I got to ask her 1 million questions that I wanted to ask her, and she was very patient with me.
Living donation is a very involved process. Our goal and our team here is to focus on the donor as the patient. It can take months. It can take multiple visits to Vanderbilt. And even after all that, there's no guarantee that you're going to be deemed an appropriate or safe candidate, because our goal is your safety as the donor. We coordinate all of the testing that's required, blood testing, compatibility. We have donor advocates, we have our transplant psychiatrists that all help us evaluate these donors to make sure that donation is going to be safe, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally for them too.
Everyone else in your life is biased one way or another. Obviously, my recipient is, my family, my kids, my husband, but she was the one person that I could call and ask that she would just give me the facts and just tell me the answers that I needed to know. And be a listening ear. I don't want anyone to think that everything's just pain-free and perfect. And that was a rough couple of weeks. But it's a rough couple of weeks in my life. And now look at his life. He's having an amazing life. So could I spare a couple of weeks? Yeah. I think we all could.
What? Oh my goodness, it makes me feel like such an underachiever. We got a few more minutes left, and I want to talk about this spirit what kind of connection did you have to that girl you just saw? Looks like she's about the same age as you, and what she said, just you're really special human beings with reinstating a beautiful human experience for another person. It's so giving. It's just, what do you think it is, Lindsay, within you and people like you all that are living donors that makes this just no question, just a no-brainer?
I don't know. And I think it's a personal internal decision. For me, it was just, I knew that I could change someone's life, and I take good care of myself. I eat healthy, I work out. And it wasn't always like that before. Back in November of 21, I had some bad lab work from the VA, and that's what changed my life and made me realize my life is short. And if I'm getting these numbers at 38 years old, who knows where I could be months from now. And I'm not willing to risk that anymore. And so it really inspired me to take care of myself and to continue living for my family and not just for myself, and not to be selfish, because I want to be able to spend more time with Anthony and live the best life that we can for as long as we can, as healthy as we can. And so that was a huge catalyst for me, was making sure that I was not taking advantage of the life that I have. And it made it even more real whenever I thought, this is something that I feel is God inspired and orchestrated completely, because as much as I could have said no and I could have backed out, I didn't want to. I wanted to help somebody else. That was the ultimate gift that I could give somebody selflessly. I got nothing in return for it. There's no monetary return.
Right.
There's nothing other than I mean, I have the scars to show it, but I have the story to tell.
That's right.
And that's what's powerful, is using that to inspire somebody else to realize it's not just organ donation. It's anything that you do can change somebody's life.
Wow. Let me ask, in your opinion, based on your experience, what would you say is the greatest joy that this experience has brought to your life that you know you will never, ever forget, or you wouldn't exchange it for anything in the world? What did you learn about yourself that you thought you knew or didn't know? What was there on the other side that you could have never seen coming?
Ooh, I gained a new family, 2 new families that we are forever connected by this gift.
The circle of giving.
This circle of giving. Yeah. It's pretty amazing that it worked out the way that it did. And I would do it all over again. And everything about the story that we just watched is true. It is a painful couple of weeks. It's not an easy recovery, but it's worth the sacrifice, because I think, God, Reggie went through years of this. So did Kevin. And now they have a life. They have their life back, where they can spend with their wives, their children, their grandchildren, their families. I mean, they can do anything that they want to now, because they are able to do things that they couldn't before.
And dream and hope and wow, it's just incredible. I am so honored to know you. I'm a better person from your story. Not all of us are designed to be able to do this type of giving, to live this kind of sacrifice. But if you look closely enough in the world you call your own, you'll find something that is yours, uniquely your DNA, as far as being of service. I believe that for every person, whether it's dropping something in the Salvation Army kettle at Christmas, donating clothes to the needy, or being a living organ donor or an angel donor, whatever it is, I would take this story, you guys, and if you're a healthy person and, it doesn't conflict with any of your morals, next time you renew your license, maybe think twice and remember this story, and you too can give someone the gift of life. So, Lindsay, thank you so much. On the screen, you guys, you see under there, tell them about what they're looking at on IG. What is that? What is that? SCAR Initiative?
The SCAR Initiative is a project I created to use our stories to have purpose, value, and giving voice to the physical and invisible scars that we carry. So if anybody's interested in sharing their story, which Dr. Lauren's going to be sharing his story with me soon, so I'm excited about that. I would love to connect with you. So please connect with me on social media or through email. And then, of course, I have my other platforms on Facebook and Instagram as well, for Mrs. Georgia American Elegance, where you can follow me and see what I'm doing. And then my personal Instagram, Linds_Gutierrez, where you can just see all things that I'm doing just in my life. You can, of course, see my fur babies and Pearl, because we take selfies a lot. Yes.
I am a fan of Pearl. I really am. I am. Does she bite?
Well, she doesn't bite, but she can get real a big attitude whenever it comes to food. But then again, who doesn't?
Who can't? Right. You
Yeah.
got to have 4 legs for that to happen. Listen, you guys, the connectors are here. And at the conclusion of today's broadcast, which is right around the corner, we will go ahead and drop all of these links inside your comment section. So if you'd like to continue the dialogue, ask some questions, or just say, we love you to Lindsay, go ahead and do that. We encourage it. Lindsay, thank you so much. I can't wait to come and share my story with you and your audience. And thank your husband, Anthony, and all of your family there, including the rats. Thank them for us, for sharing you with us. We really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, a great weekend, and just live this life to the fullest. Thank you for inspiring us today. And thank each of you. God bless you. I just love you guys. You make me a better version of myself every moment that we're together. So please join me Monday morning, God willing. I'll meet you out on the front porch, and we'll do this all again as we approach another episode of Bathrobe Moments. Be sweet, be great, and be the blessing you want to see in the world. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Have a great day. I love you guys. I love you. Bye-bye.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine.